What's up, DG? It's Matt, and welcome back to the NFL picks. We're in week 2. My overall is not good. We know it's 6-9-1. That was the worst week. That was the worst week. I think that's gonna happen this week, hopefully, because it's just unpredictable. No team has film. You just don't know who's good and who's not. So this is understandable how I went 6-9-1. Just not good. I had no 4 o'clock games right. None of them. I can't believe I started 1-0 and then ended 6-9-1. And can we talk about that Broncos and Seahawks game? That just ended last night. I'm here in the morning talking about it. The Seahawks won. They beat no revenge game went right. Like Baker's fell short. Who else had one? Russ's fell short, of course, and Joe Flacco. I think those are all the revenge games, but man, crazy that I think none of them went right. But here we go. Let's get into the picks. Thursday night, you got Chargers versus Chiefs. They're both 1-0, and I kind of saw this coming. Of course, they were both going to be 1-0. It's the AFC West, but I blindly predicted both of them to lose. What am I doing? Anyways, this is a pog match for sure. You don't know who's going to win this game. I went with the team that scored the most points week 1, and we're just gonna go with, the team that's home, the team that is mostly favored in these matches. We're gonna go with the Chiefs, and not much to say. Patrick Mahomes is still a beast. It seems that their offense is fine without Tyreek Hill. But again, the Cardinals' defense could just be bad. Again, week 1, you still don't know a lot. You want to know a lot, but I think when we get to week 3, we'll be reading these teams well. So, for this pog match, choose the Chiefs. Next up, you got the Patriots playing the Steelers. Weird games. Patriots scored 1 touchdown total against the Dolphins, who scored 7-20. Steelers upsetted my Cincinnati Bengals in the most wild home opener of all time. But there's an issue about the injuries. T.J. Watt is out for most likely the entire season. They're still looking at it. Could be like a month or 2. But let's just assume it's a long time. Probably about 8 games. That's not good. It's not good for the Steelers, especially with their second place division schedule. Looking rough. But Patriots, obviously the Steelers, I have winning, but I think Patriots. It's gonna be a close game now. T.J. Watt's obviously gonna be out this game. It's gonna be close. I can't pick the Patriots just because of how much they scored. It just didn't look good for me, and there's just no stars on that team. Yeah, I hate to pick in the AFC North because of my Bengals, but yeah, let's do it. Yeah, but don't be surprised if this is an upset because again, Patriots could just win. It's just a toss up. Next up, you got the Panthers versus the Giants. Giants surprisingly came off a win, and Baker fell short of his win. It was just a crazy game. I feel like the Panthers had that win too. There was just a rough ref call. Roughing roughing the passer that just gave him the field position to make that kick. Otherwise, I think the Panthers got robbed. The Giants came from behind from like 13-0, and scored. It tied the game within 2 minutes, and then they got a touchdown and went for 2. That was ballsy, dude. I gotta admit, that was ballsy by the Bull to go for 2 at the end, and then Randy Bullock obviously missed the kick, and the Giants win. That's like first time starting with one. Like they usually start 0-3 in the last 5 seasons. Giants have been bad, but they get the win, rub some dust off their shoulder, and keep on cruising. I'm actually gonna have the Panthers here just because I think they got robbed, and the Giants. I don't want to say they got lucky, but man, how the way they tied the game in 2 minutes. If that doesn't happen, I hate to do the ifs. Instead of have the Titans just run away with it, probably. I mean, the Giants just gained all that momentum after. And it's going to be my thoughts on that game. Could be an upset, though. Giants could definitely win it because they're at home. We'll see. Next up, you got the New York Jets playing the Cleveland Browns. As I said, the Browns didn't look that good. They needed Nick Chubb to run all over the Panthers defense. But in my mind, the Jets didn't do that bad. I mean, the score was 24-9. Jets defense wasn't that bad. Other than that, I think the wide open Rashad Bateman, what was it, like a 60-yard throw, 50-yard from Lamar Jackson? I mean, Lamar Jackson just wants that bag. I think what you want to do for the Jets is you want to start Mike White. just as a Bengals fan, you know. Yeah, no rush though. The Cleveland Browns though, they got one win without Deshaun Watson, and that's huge. But let's see him do it again, because I can't have the whole AFC North win this week. So we're gonna have the Browns, but there's an upset watch because the Jets. This is a trap game for them. So we play the Jets. We will play the Jets next week. And that's just it. We could play them next week. So, and they have a backup. They're gonna have a backup quarterback. They probably want to win this game. I don't know. There's just a gut feeling the Jets. Gut feeling Jets win this game, but I'm gonna pick the Browns still. Oh boy! Next up, you want to talk about an upset? The Colts are down 3-20, 17 points behind the Texans, and they still somehow take it to overtime. And the Texans decide to punt within less than a minute. It was like 4th and 2. They didn't go for it. They wanted the tie, and they almost didn't get one. So the Colts tie. What a crazy game. But yeah, they end up tying with the Texans of all teams. Colts just can't get that week 1 win, man. As for the Jacksonville Jaguars, pretty close game with Commanders. Still things you have to work on because it was like again 3-20, but the deficit was too much for them. Jacksonville still just doesn't look that good to me. But the Colts are in trouble because last season and the season before when they marched into Jacksonville Jaguar Field. Wait, what's the name of the stadium? It's not Bank of America. That's whatever the name of their stadium is. They're gonna march in there. They're gonna see all the fans in clown costumes, and they are going to get destroyed. This is the toilet bowl of the week, by the way. Just because of this, I'm picking the Jags. You can't pick against the Jags in Jacksonville when the Colts are in town. You can't do it. So I got them winning. Next up, Barry Pog match. 2 1-0 teams. Curious to see if the Dolphins can beat the Ravens again after last season. Ravens. They look good. They look good against the Jets. But again, it's the Jets. You just don't know. Dolphins. Again, they look good against the Patriots. But it's the Patriots. Without Tom Brady and without really any stars on the field. So, going to be a crazy game. Who do I got on top? The team that's home. Lamar Jackson. Give me the Ravens. Would not be surprised if the Dolphins came out with that, though. Next up, another thing you just got to pick. Pog match. Tom Brady going into playing the Saints. Can he finally beat the Saints? My answer is no, man. They really picked it up at that Falcons game. If they pick up where they left off, they are going to beat the Buccaneers just like they do every season. There's just something about that Saints defense that just turns up when the Bucs are in town. When the Bucs are in New Orleans, so I think that's what's going to happen again. You just can't pick against it when you're like, oh, there's no way it happens again. It happens again. So, I got the Saints here. A lot, little weird upsets that you just can't pick against. So next up, I got the Commanders playing the Lions. This could have been the toilet bowl of the week if the Colts didn't suck it up. So, Commanders look pretty good against the Jags, 28-22. Carson Wentz had 4 touchdowns, pretty good, but he's still, I think he threw a pick or two. Still wasn't MVP form, but he did his thing. Detroit Lions, they scored 35 points against the Eagles, who are supposed to be a good defense. If the Washington defense is any lesser than that, and Lions just pick up from that game, Lions are winning this. I don't know if I have an upset watch. I don't remember. I might. Yes, I do, because the Washington could just win. As simple as that. The Lions could do Lions things. You hate to say it, but Commanders could obviously win this game. They're 1-0. NFC East looking pretty good, besides one team that we're going to talk about later. Give me Lions. Next up, the Seahawks. Oh my God. What the hell happened in that Russell Wilson revenge game? What went wrong? Well, Pete Carroll had a plan for him. They won by 1 point. The Broncos decided to kick a 64-yard field goal for some reason. And they're playing against the Niners, who... just a weird game against the Bears. Weird weather game, but Trey Lance just didn't look good. The team didn't look good. The Bears, they worked with it. They worked with it, and they got it. They got the win. They just had more. They had the more experience. They had the better game plan, and they came out on top. And that those ending with the players sliding in the water in the rain was just cold as shit, dude. That was the hardest video I've ever seen. It was amazing. So I'm cheering for the Bears. I'm cheering for the Bears if my Bengals don't get in the playoffs. I'm cheering for the Bears. Cheer for the Saints. Hopefully they get the win. But back to the 49ers, man. They're in trouble. I hate to say it so early in the season, but they're in trouble. Second place schedule in the division. I saw their schedule, and they could realistically start 1-3, but the reason they're starting 1-3 is because they're gonna win this game. Seahawks could obviously win after that game, but I think that they planned for the Russell Wilson game, and now they're just gonna kind of slowly descend into mediocrity. So give me the 49ers there. Falcons, Rams. We're gonna speed this up here. Just give me the Rams. Falcons gonna Falcon. Rams didn't have a good game against the Bills, but we expect them to bounce back here. Hopefully Matthew Stafford can bounce back. Next up, Cardinals versus Raiders. Chiefs destroyed the Cardinals defense. I have no faith in that. Raiders put up a good fight against the Chargers, who are supposed to be a top 5 roster. Give me the Raiders. Pretty simple as that. Texans, rough tie. We expect the Broncos to bounce back after that Seahawks game, though. They have the better roster. Texans could just surprise people. We'll see. Next up, Cincinnati Bengals versus the Cowboys. Bengals, rough, crazy game against the Steelers. Obviously, we talked about it. TJ Watt is out. But luckily for the Bengals, man, they can get right back into this thing. They got 2 backup QBs the next 2 weeks. And that they have to win those games. That'll make them 2-1, get them back in the season. They'll be okay. Cowboys, I'm sorry to say it. You scored 3 points Sunday night, and Dak Prescott is gone for 8 weeks, maybe even more. Your season's over. Your season is chalked. Cowboys are in shambles. I say that, and the Bengals play them. I'm scared, but the Bengals have to win this game, or I think they're out of playoff contention. It's going to be tough in the AFC. I'm expecting them to win this game, and I'm sure everyone else is expecting them to win. I mean, Cooper Rush and then Mike White or Joe Flacco next year, they got to get their revenge, start 2-1. We'll see if Bengals can get back in the season after Joe Burrow. I don't even blame Joe Burrow for that. I blame the long snapper because Joe Burrow still got them back in that game where it was 2020, and to me, 2020 is just 0-0, and they just missed the extra point. But you could also blame the coach. I'm sorry, I talk about my Bengals too much. Moving on. Okay, Bears versus Packers. Wow, Bears did not expect them to win there. And the Packers looked awful week one again compared to last season. It was like 38-3 against the Saints. Uh, I mean you expect the Packers to bounce back here, but if the Bears win, oh man, the Packers are in trouble in the AFC North, especially if the Vikings win next week, which we'll get to pretty soon. Here we go. Next up, Titans Bills. Uh, Titans, they lost to the Giants. They just choked the lead. Uh, Derrick Henry was able to run on the Bills' defense last season, but with the points they put up compared to the points Bills put up, I think they're just a more complete team right now. And they lost A.J. Brown and Julio Jones, and that ended up biting them in the ass. Yeah, give me Bills. Next up, Vikings Eagles. Pog match. Holy shit. Eagles scored 38 points. Vikings held the Packers offense to 7 points. Justin Jefferson had like 180 yards. It absolutely went off. Looking like these two teams are going to be really good this season, but only one of them can win it. And I mean, I take your pick. Literally anyone could win this. I'm gonna go with the Eagles. We gotta see a little more from the Vikings. But they're looking insanely good. You have to pick a winner. It sucks. It sucks that you have to pick a winner between these two teams. But we'll just go with the home team here and go with the Eagles. And those are gonna be the picks, guys. I hope you guys have a good week. Enjoy the Thursday night game. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good week, hopefully. And I'll see you next time.